Hey, today I have a little tip for you when you shoot with smaller cameras that don't have such high bit rates like the Panasonic GH5 here. It can be a drone, it can be a Sony RX camera or a G7X, whatever you shoot. Actually, even in this camera, when I would shoot in 4K 60 and I cannot shoot in 10-bit and high bit rates, then it counts even for the GH5. And yeah, this tip is actually regarding when you shoot in conditions where you don't have a high contrast situations. Like right now I'm on top of a mountain here and we have a lot of clouds. There's not much light coming in. It's all pretty flat. Like I wouldn't need much dynamic range to get some shots here. And such conditions make it very complicated for a camera with a low bit rate to capture all the details. So what you can simply do to make it easier for the camera is to raise your contrast. You usually, when you do a lot of color correction later, you usually shoot in a flat color profile, which is correct on sunny days where you have bright sunlight and a lot of shadows and so on, because then you want to maximize the dynamic range of your camera. But in conditions like that here, you want to make sure that you have a lot of contrast so that the camera recognizes those details and then the compression of the camera can capture these details. You can actually see that in your histogram when you turn your histogram on in your camera and you would shoot in conditions like that. I can do that with a Panasonic GH5 right now here. I'm actually shooting in log right now, so it is actually very flat, but I'm shooting in a high bit rate, so I can show it to you later in post how it looks. So let's just get a quick shot here. Just very quick, nothing complicated, but this was shot in log, and I show you in the video now how the histogram of that shot looks. And you will see that this histogram is very small, and that means that it's hard to capture for the camera if it has a low bit rate. It needs to have a high bit rate. Like right now I'm shooting in 10-bit 400 mbits. That's very high and you can capture everything with that. But for cameras that shoot in low bit rates, it's very complicated to get shots that have a small histogram, because the compression then cannot save all the details, and that's why you should simply raise the contrast. You just go into your settings menu, and there you usually have some options where you can lower or raise the contrast, and that already makes it so much better. I actually did that here a lot when I shot with a Mavic 2 Pro. It's actually 10-bit already, so it has a bit more colors and the bitrate is not too low. But even this drone has a lot of problems when you have like flat surrounding, like here with a lot of clouds. So I simply raised the contrast there to +3 and it looked a lot better. So that's just from experience here, but it doesn't only count for drones, it counts for every camera. What you can also do is you can also raise the saturation a little bit, because when it's all flat around you, then usually the colors are also not that bright. So to make it easier for the camera to capture more colors, you can also raise the saturation. So very quick and easy tip today, but it can really make your footage a lot better, especially from smaller cameras, and it makes your color grading a lot easier. I hope you liked this video, and if yes, then please leave me a thumbs up. And also if you want to see more tutorials like that, then don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell notifications button right now, because I publish one video every Sunday. See you in the next one.